You walk into a bank. You ask for a loan. No trucks arrive. No vault opens. No one hands over someone else's savings. Yet suddenly, new money exists. Not moved, not transferred, created. And that simple trick is how banks make money from money that didn't exist 5 minutes ago. This sounds illegal, or at least fake, but it's not a conspiracy. It's the core of the modern financial system. And once you see it, you can't unsee it, because the system quietly decides who gets rich, who stays in debt, and why crises keep repeating. Let's slow this down. Right now, most people believe banks lend out money that other people deposited. Your savings go in. Someone else borrows them. The bank takes a cut. That story feels safe, logical, comforting. It's also wrong. Here's what actually happens. When you apply for a loan, the bank does not check how much money it has in a vault. It checks two things: your credit worthiness and whether it believes you'll pay back more than you borrow. If the answer is yes, the bank types numbers into a computer. That's it. Your account balance goes up. Their balance sheet expands. New money enters the economy. No one lost money for you to gain it. It was created at the moment of lending. This isn't a loophole. This is how the system is designed. Banks create money by issuing loans, and they destroy money when loans are repaid. That's the trick. Now, here's where it gets uncomfortable. Banks don't create the interest. They only create the principal. If you borrow 100, the bank creates 100, but you owe 110 or 120 or more. That extra money, it doesn't exist yet, which means, system-wide, someone must always borrow more to pay existing interests. Debt isn't a bug, it's the fuel. This is why economies are addicted to growth. If lending slows down, there isn't enough money to service existing debt. Businesses fail. People default. Banks panic. And suddenly, everyone remembers the system exists. This is where the irony kicks in. Banks are often described as financial intermediaries, middlemen, caretakers, but in reality, they're closer to licensed money creators. Private institutions with the power to expand or contract the money supply. Based on profit, central banks influence the game. They set interest rates. They provide liquidity in emergencies. But they don't control everyday money creation. Commercial banks do quietly, daily, at scale. This explains something that confuses people. Why banks lend aggressively during booms and stop lending exactly when money is needed most. Because when fear rises, banks don't want to create money. And when banks stop creating money, economies stall. The same mechanism that powers growth also amplifies crashes. Now, zoom out. This system rewards one thing above all else: debt that looks safe. Mortgages, government bonds, large corporations. Risky borrowers get punished, not because they're irresponsible, but because money creation follows perceived safety, not social need. That's why asset prices explode while wages crawl. Why housing gets expensive before food. Why inequality widens without anyone voting for it. It's not a secret meeting. It's math plus incentives. And here's the quiet absurdity. Most of the money you use every day exists because someone, somewhere, owes a bank. Your salary, your rent, your groceries, all connected to debt chains you never see. Money feels solid, but structurally, it's fragile. Confidence keeps it alive. Fear makes it disappear. So when people ask, why can't governments just print money for schools or hospitals? The real answer is awkward. We already print money. We just outsource it to banks and aim it toward profit. That doesn't make the system evil, but it makes it powerful. And power without understanding is dangerous. Because once you realize money is created by keystroke, the real question isn't how banks do it. It's who should be allowed to. And what happens if we ever decide the answer is wrong?